Hey, Donnie. Hey, Eric. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another stream of the lost my train of thought there for the VW Samba. Todd is here. I'm just running through the chat real quick. And Donnie is correct. He was actually first, and actually welcome to the stream, Donnie. It's usually you usually don't make it until at least halfway through, and with these shorter streams, usually not at all. So yeah, like I said in the comments, this is probably going to be a short stream because it's a lot of parts that it's just, isn't this cool? Save it for later, which is fine. Man, this beard is really starting to look like Santa. I need to
grow it all the way out, Buck.
So what?
Grow it all the way out.
Well, I am, except for I think the neck beard could be trimmed back a little bit. Hey, Donnie's got the same problem I do. Running out of parts.
See, everybody suffers, even Nissan.
Yep. So, first thing I'm going to do, and I mentioned this in the comments as well, is actually, yeah, that one's good. This is the Revell Samba. Actually, let me see. That's actually a better picture, which is weird because I think that camera's the better one. So this is a Samba where it stands right now. This is the front. Got the gear shift, lost the brake pedal, got the seats in here. I don't know whether I've shown this on the stream or not. Oops, that's not supposed to pop off like that. Oh, you know what? I'm a dork. That's not supposed to come off at all. I was thinking this tilted forward. No, it's the other one. It's okay. But I've got it actually glued down. This will glue back in easily. There's the engine compartment. Painted the top of it blue. And the one thing I forgot before I glued this all down, I forgot to run the wires underneath. So I'm going to end up running them along the edge here instead of underneath the floorboards. And then power is going to actually come in underneath here. A little bit more difficult because I did it before I put the floor down, but it'll be okay. This seat does.
On the real car, on the real van, what would that space be for? Is a gas tank there?
I think just the frame. I don't know if it would actually be that thick or not, but I think it's just framework.
Hello, Eric. With only 53 horsepower, you don't need brakes anyway. Yeah, you just cut a hole in the floor and Flintstone it.
Yep. So we go ahead and get the first part, and the dial for the Lisbon tram is coming along famously. It is getting, it's starting to go together a lot faster because it's a lot of little detail parts. So this, let me switch cameras, is where the spare tire will eventually go. Goes on right here, but before I can just set it there. A couple of weeks ago, I actually decided to take a look at this, and I sat it on here, and it's kind of an interesting thought. When you look at it, it is exactly half the size of the DeAgostini. So literally, almost half. This is just about half of what the size of the full car is going to be. So it's probably going to be about that big. I just thought that was kind of neat when I realized it. I suppose I should open the book, even though I've already looked at this. And not sure if this is going to preclude me from gluing the floor down. I haven't yet. It does fall off if you turn it over. but I'm not sure if it's going to need to be because it's been laying until I did that, laying without any issues. And I have a feeling that once the seats go in, it's not going to cause any kind of problems, except for when I turn it over to put this in. So this goes on here just like that. And back here, there's tabs with lugs that stick down into the holes in the back of the front part of the cab. If I can get them to go in there.
Once you have that installed, can you still slip the mat underneath it, or does it sit in front of the mat? Like, is there a little space there?
Actually, it's blocking it right now, but the mat does not go underneath it.
Oh, well, then you could always stick the mat down later.
Matter of fact, it's causing an issue with it going down with the mat in there.
Yeah, I saw like 3 little tabs at the bottom there.
Yeah, there's 3 little tabs here. You can see the tabs there. I do this, have the same problem every time. I forget to turn this one on. But you got the 3 tabs there. There goes the other mat. That sticks through right here. And then these screws, there's 3 BPO5 screws. Make sure. Now, all the BPO5s are silver. Get one more back out of here. But these 2 BPO5s go into these lugs here. Make sure. Yep. They go in here into these, not lugs, screw holes. They'll go into the lugs that are above and lock that piece down. And I do have the spray adhesive. I just don't know if I should do it now when I don't know for sure if I'm going to have to get back underneath those mats. That's the key thing I'm concerned with. Because if I glue the mats down and then it turns out I've got to get under there for something, that's going to suck. And you know as well as I do, Todd, that part works are notorious for put this part in. Okay, now take it off so you can do this.
They do have a tendency to do that.
Yeah. So unless those mats are causing an issue, like falling out, like they just did, I'm thinking I'm going to wait until later.
Yeah, just wait till you have to put the seats in, until you can't,
Yeah, once the seats are going in, which is actually going to happen pretty quickly, I think. But I also like the fact that I like the glossy floor, to be honest. I could actually leave it just like that. And actually, that is all there is to do in that stage. So stage 24. Let me see. Let me throw these back on here to counterbalance the weight of the front seats. Like I said in the description, this is going to go really quick tonight because I don't even through 24 to 27, it isn't even a full seat that gets assembled. So the night that Donnie gets off early, it's a short stream. Sorry, Donnie.
Are you at least going to put the spare tire in, or does that come later?
Not yet. I can show you on here. You see, this is still open here because this still has to go on there. On here, it's a single piece.
Gotcha.
I have to admit that was kind of silly that I pulled that seat out of the smaller model. So these are actually supposed to be separate. Came together actually. See if I can get it apart, I will. Hey Lee, welcome.
I agree with Donnie.
So, yeah,
do you have a hippie Goofy to put in there?
I do not.
Aw.
I don't think.
Hey Lee.
He almost would fit.
Why not? Nobody knows how big Goofy actually is.
Goofy's about 6.5, 7 feet tall.
Oh no.
So yeah, inside here, you've got the framework, and what it really says is just look at these parts and hold on to it. And this is one of the movable seats. You can see right there, it matches the one that folds forward on the Revell. I'm sure, Donnie, that it's not a conspiracy. I'm sure that later on in the build, there will be stages, just like there are in every part work, where it becomes just huge amounts of stuff to do in each stage. So I've got some BPO3s. These two seats do need to come apart, or this seat does need to come apart. And BPO3 right there, because it's also got, which you don't find in cars anymore these days, the ashtray. That is actually a pretty cool detail. The Revell has it as well. So you can see there are 2 holes, or 3 holes. There's 2 holes for the lugs, 1 for the pin, so you've got it upside right. It'll pop in there just like that. And it does have a slight slant to it. It's a little bit taller at the top than it is at the bottom. And these screws are going to just go into the back of it through these sockets. I'm going to call them sockets from now on, where the lugs go into the sockets and the into the screw holes. Of course, you'll probably have to work late the nights that I have a lot of parts. But there's always replay, Donnie. So I don't know if Donnie saw it. I don't know if you put it up on the screen, because Donnie and Eric are actually on different channels. Donnie, Eric asked if you have received your R2 parts yet.
Well, that's Eric's fault. He should be where Donnie is then.
Yeah, exactly. So put that seat back together. Make sure that the grab bar, I was going to say headrest, but it's not a headrest. The grab bar here fits down inside there. Do the same with these. The 2 grab bars have to fit down inside of the grooves on there. To be honest, Todd, I've actually thought about just streaming to one channel, but then Eric might lose his mind if I didn't stream on HTM. Plus, I've always had since HTM's inception, I've always had my live streams there. So I'm not going to change now.
No, and that's fine. I always tell people, I said, if you want to chat with each other, to get on HTM, because that way everybody has one place to go.
Yeah. So that goes on there like that. And then it'll eventually end up these two seats just like that.
Donnie says the ashtray is a separate part. They must be feeling guilty about how much they charge for it.
No, not really. Think about it. The ashtray is a different color of plastic. They do have little drops of color here, but I don't think they're feeling guilty about how much they charged for it.
No.
Then, because truthfully, especially with the price of some models these days, this costing, I think, matter of fact, let me just move this out of the way, pull up my spreadsheet, and I'll tell you exactly what it costs. So let's see on here. Okay, so it is a little bit pricey that this is $14. But this is $14 plus $3.40 in shipping. So
how many stages are there in the Samba? 100?
There's 120 packs. Pieces wise, I don't know for sure.
No, I'm just curious, like, when they have, why did they push it out to 120 stages if they could get it done in 100, right?
Yeah, it's the same reason they did it with fire truck. It's not 120 stages, but it's 12 months.
Well, I think they had to split that up themselves. That's because there's really only 79 stages to the fire truck. And they just had to divide it up into 12 months. But that's an old build. That's why it's got such a random number. I think the DB5 was 85 stages, and 86 is the cover. So it's only 86 stages. But that was from 2011. The fire truck's from 2008, but somewhere around 2011, 2012, they started going to like 100 or 120,
Yeah. Trying to find the right window. So it does point out in the instructions, and actually it points it out in the Revell instructions too. It's kind of neat because these two, okay, let me show them different. These two are almost identical, except for this one here is going to catch this seat back so that seat back will fold. And these would just, in the actual van, would just sit on the floor, not be attached like they will be. Because these have the detail of a wing nut on there. So these 4 wing nuts would be actually what is holding the seat in. Actually, Donnie, the Revell, it's twice the size of the Revell kit, and yeah, you're about right, 10 times the price. Because I remember the Revell kit was about $100 until I caught it on sale, and I got it for like 70.
Say goodbye to Lee.
See you, Lee. Thanks for stopping by.
Smash the like with the OG Gauge train. See you on the next one. Night all. Donnie likes to hang out on your channel so you get a viewer.
I appreciate that. I'm getting a view. I don't know. Actually, I don't think my views count on my channel. Would be nice if they did.
I mean, if you're counting part numbers, there's some. I mean, the DB5 was only 261 parts. You know what I mean? But the DeLorean was like 1,200 parts. So
yeah,
it's, if you want to divide parts per stage and see which has the most thing. But some parts are huge and metal, and some parts are just a bunch of plastic. So it's all over the place.
Well, and the thing is, I don't think you buy a kit like this for parts count.
No,
as soon as I
buy it because you want a huge VW van.
Yeah, I did. I saw it and I was like, I need that. I need that in my life.
That's how I felt about the DeLorean. Julian is in here and put in Enye. And Eric says, I don't care what channel on, I like hanging out with everybody. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so these two parts have got to go on the right side of the seat bottom here because they're going to be where the seat back is that lays down. Yes, howdy, Julian. And the wing nuts, the ones parts of the wing nuts, go to the outside. So this one here, this part here with the wing nuts is going to go here, and the pole goes up through the, come on, focus.
Put it in the center. There you go.
There we go. So it goes up through there. Same here. The other two are not going to have anything support for them. You get some of the BDO 3s that I just got. I have more than too many. Actually, I think I grabbed everyone, and not BP. So let me get that one started.
Eric says Donnie's a wing nut. He can help.
I thought you were the wing nut, Eric. So let me get this one tightened down. My wife is running the blender again. Before anybody asks, that's what the whine in the background is.
Donnie says he needs the big Millennium Falcon in his life. Well, you buy the Lego one, it's a lot cheaper than the DeAgostini one. Same size.
Oh, the Lego? Yes. The Lego one is, I want to say, the big Millennium Falcon that matches the same size as the Diag. Isn't that like $700?
No, it was 800, and I think it's 850 now.
Yeah, so it's about half the size of the Diag.
Half the price. Same size.
Or half,
they both modeled them after the scale of the studio model.
Doesn't look as good. This is true. And I think the Diag one, if you drop it, won't explode into 4.8 billion pieces.
That's true. I don't imagine that either one of them would survive a drop. So,
well, I would think that the Diag one would survive pretty well. Some of the details might break off, but it's got a steel skeleton. Maybe not steel, but aluminum. I'm a bad person. I'm doing them in the wrong order.
You're a bad man. Eric says the big Falcon looks cool, but not as cool as Eleanor. Now, how come you're not building Eleanor? What's up with that?
The instructions start here and work across. I'm going from the opposite side.
Doesn't matter.
No.
As long as the part's in the right place.
The key thing is, what does matter is to make sure that these are in the right, exactly like you said, these are in the right spot, because that pin has to be to the inside. And I'm going to see if I can break parts. I mean, test fit the seat backs onto here. I only jokingly said brake parts because I know for sure that there's only so many times you're going to be able to flex those plastic arms before they're going to get damaged. Come on, get in there.
Oh, Eric says maybe this Friday he's going to build some Eleanor.
That would be cool. And it can't do the Kessel Run in under 12 parsecs.
Well, neither can the Millennium Falcon because it's not real. At least Eleanor was a real car.
Yeah. Now, I still, to this day, think it's funny that how in 78, when they made the movie, they made parsecs sound like it was a measurement of time. Because I don't think Lucas was thinking about the fact that a parsec is a distance and not time when he did that. I don't think he was thinking you're running through all these this area of multiple stars, a cluster of stars, which is why you're doing it in 12 parsecs. Is the distance being shorter is the more impressive thing. I don't remember the whole explanation, but I did read the explanation for it, and I'm like, no, Lucas just made a mistake. So let me make sure these are all tight. So that's actually as far as the instructions go tonight.
That was quick.
But I'm going to have some fun with this, and I'm going to fit it. I'm not going to tighten screws down or anything like that.
Donnie says,
but
come
I
on,
do.
Why do we call it science fiction for a reason?
Yeah, but when you're doing science fiction, don't use science fact for it.
Hey, the DeLorean didn't go 80 miles an hour either, much less go through time.
Well, it did. The DeLorean would do 88 miles an hour if you had a tall enough cliff to push it off.
That's right. A tailwind, a sail, parachute.
Yeah. So that's how this is going to fit into the van itself. You can see that it fits perfectly in there. I think that actually might, if I get all these dots back down into the floor, I think that actually might hold. Good thing nobody was sitting there.
Yeah, so much for that.
I think it'll hold the floor down pretty well. And the lugs do have screw holes underneath them. There went the other floor mat. I'm just tearing things up tonight.
Well, you keep saying I'm not going to put. I don't think I need to put the floor down. I don't think they put the floor down. It just keeps falling out on you.
Yeah. Well, I just killed Bane. Poor guy. And then there's 3 holes here. I'm going to lift this up rather than 3 holes here for these 3 lugs. And the posts that come up from the legs will actually fit into the holes in the seats. And so this will go in like that. And then, like I said, this is where possible breakage could happen. I'm looking. That is very cool. You can see the secondary hole there on both sides. There's a small dot in the plastic. If I can get this one to go in there,
we got Eric,
actually hold.
Yeah.
So what?
We got Eric Pedia spitting facts about the DeLorean.
Rodent type 10 point with an automatic gearbox, 10.5 seconds to 60 miles an hour, and only 105 top. Well, my Datsun B210, my 78 Datsun B210, its top speed, according to the book, it was one of the 70s Econo Boxers, and it was supposed to go. It basically said in the book, if you have to get going really fast to get out of the way of a truck, in fourth gear, you can go up to like 65. The 30,000 miles that I owned that car for before I killed the engine, I put about, I'd say 25 of it at over 90 miles an hour. I pegged that speedometer really hard.
Well, now you know why your engine didn't die. That money shift down to third at 65.
Now, the problem with the engine, the big problem with that the engine had was that it was one of those cars, you know, fill the oil, check the gas. And I didn't have oil one night. And that was the night that the car died. Okay, this is not going to work. It's going to fall over.
What is the top speed of a Volkswagen Samba bus? 295 horse, 1200 kilograms, top speed at 220 kilometers per hour.
No, I doubt it.
Horse.
No, these weren't made for speed. These were made to be a cheap van for families. Hence the name Volkswagen, which hopefully everybody realizes that the direct translation of Volkswagen is people car. Funny thing is that a lot of people don't realize, you know who made Volkswagen, right? Don't you, Todd?
I do.
Eric, do you know who made Volkswagen?
The name that we don't speak.
No, it's not the name we don't speak. I will give you a hint. Eric, in one movie, in Risky Business, Tom Cruise says the name of the car, and there is no substitute. Oh, wait, that's a movie. Eric's never seen a movie in his life. So, no, the maker of Not a Clue, never seen it. See? The maker of the Volkswagen is Porsche. They were the original makers because they made the sports car, and Porsche decided he would make a car for people. It's kind of like the Citroen Duck. The Duck was no frills. These seats in the Volkswagen are luxury compared to the leather strap that was in the Duck. So that's all the parts I've got for tonight. I kind of was able to stretch it out a little bit by flapping my gums, but that's it for tonight. Appreciate everybody coming by, and if you're enjoying this, it's on DeAgostini. I love this car. It's going together really well. You can see the bus is over my shoulder here. That'll be on Monday again, and then this weekend we'll have the live stream on Hobby Town Modelers, and both Friday and Sunday. Friday at 8 p.m. Central, Sunday noon.
There's Gilly. Noon. He's been stalking us. There's Gilly.
Yeah.
He's been stalking us this whole time.
Yeah, it's okay. He's allowed. So like and subscribe. Come on over to Hobby Time Modelers on both Facebook and YouTube and join. You know, follow us on YouTube, join us on Facebook, and we will see you next time. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay safe out there, and have a great evening.